Good day. How are you? Amazing.
I don't know what you guys do when it comes to celebrating people, but in my family, some of the times when we want to celebrate, we think of things a little bit out of the box. So, being married to my husband for so many years, there was a beginning in our relationship where we would try to buy each other everything. It was about a little after our second child where we realized, you know what, we have everything that we've ever dreamed of. We don't need to continuously buy things for each other. We can kind of come from the heart. Since then, my husband would take it upon himself to make these beautiful gifts. I mean, sometimes they would be little glass sculptures, a shirt, many different things from his hands, from his touch. And it just would really inspire love, creativity, and happiness. So Father's Day is around the corner, and as many of you know, my father passed away. And although my father passed away, I do like to keep a happy face, a happy mindset when it comes to thinking of my father or thinking of just the joys of being with my family. For my sons, oftentimes we hand make our cards or we do different things, but we've really gotten into this knack of making bracelets. And it's so funny. So today, me and my middle son took a little trip to Michael's, and I said, let's pick out stuff and we will make your dad a beautiful Father's Day bracelet. And he was so excited, and so was my other boys. So we picked out a charm that really represents who he is. And we also looked at his colors. My husband is not a boisterous, bold man. He's very simple, modest, and humble, although very giving. And he tends to like browns, orange, black, maroon. So I said, let's stay within the wood family of colors, and let's really create something for him. And we did a beautiful bracelet. And I think that when he sees it on Father's Day, he will truly appreciate it. The thing about it is, we're also excited, and we feel so happy to cherish him and happy to show him just how much we are proud of him. And that may sound kind of backwards, because technically the father's supposed to be proud of the kid, right? But not really. My husband has made such a life foundation and journey for himself and his family that oftentimes I look at him with pride. He does things without question. His generosity shows no bounds, and he moves humbly and modestly. So there are times that you don't even know he did it. It's just, like all husband and wives, he could drive you crazy. But there are moments where I'm just in awe of, wow, thank you, God, for giving me this beautiful gift of a husband and a father for my children. With that said, there are things that I cannot thank him enough for. I feel that in the beginning of our relationship, we were married for 6 years before we had one child. And he was always my bestest friend at the time. And the funny thing is, I remember how his heart wanted a child and how he would look to me and say, oh, I just want us to have a baby and things of that nature. And I would truly want that for him. In those beginning years of our relationship where we were just loving each other and knowing each other, we would travel and do so many things together, where now in our relationship, I feel like sometimes he just knows what I'm thinking. Or he'll come in the room and say, are you okay? Or what's wrong? Are you hungry? Like, we just know each other. I always want him to have so much of his dreams. And I hope and pray that he does feel like his dreams are coming true. It's interesting because, I know sometimes when I cook certain things, they're not his favorite foods, but I still cook it anyway. And I think that, there's a tempo in the house that we all follow. However, I do know that he is often the first person to say, okay, let me taste, give me criticism, but it's always fair with respect and open. Recently, I was telling my husband how I'm interested in doing counseling, because I do a lot of life coaching and I do a lot of crisis intervention. And I do this all the time. I've been doing work with people in their lifelong journeys, for over 2 decades. And I wanted to see if what he thought in his perspective, because the thing is, whenever I'm going to do anything, the first person I ask about what do you think is my husband, and he'll usually say, well, do whatever you want. But I always want to understand his perspective, because he sees things in a way that is an owner, a boss, a leader, a visionary, a foundation, a father, a husband. His viewpoint, I respect it so deeply. He often jokes with me and says, you have to ask your friend first and they'll say what I just said and then you'll agree with them. But that's not the case. I'm just verifying. But I wanted to take on this journey with NYU and see where that leads me. This journey will open up a new opportunity. Although I am still pursuing my DBA, I'm a forever learner, and I love being part of different mixes of different educational paths and growths. And I saw this opportunity and I said, you know what, let me really expand and get the credentials for certain things that are my dreams. And when I told him about it, he was so supportive, and it made me feel absolutely amazing. He said, look, this is your journey. You have to do whatever it is that you want to do, and don't let anything stop you. And that's basically how we live. We've always lived that way. There are times where we were high in the hog and we had everything. And there were times when we first got married that we didn't even have a couch or a table or furniture. I feel that there are so many different turns and perspectives that me and him have been through together that I'm overwhelmed. The other day, we were sitting in the house and I said to him, you know what? I want to go to the beach. And he's like, so do I. And I said, oh my goodness. I said, well, what beach do you want to go to? And he said, Vero Beach. I said, me too. It was so funny. Me and him had the same idea. And so this weekend went to the beach. What an amazing time. We had so much fun. Our kids had fun. And I will always go crazy and yell oh my God, be careful, because I'm such a nervous wreck. But I was thinking oh my goodness, when I was their age, I used to swim out into the ocean and get into a boat. I used to really, I guess, be reckless with my life as a young person. So I guess that's what my fear is when I see my kids and I'm oh my gosh, be careful. But the lifeguards were even the waves are too choppy, pull it back, to everybody there. So I know I wasn't that crazy. That was basically the message. It was a little choppy. But my little daughter, she had such an amazing time. She was so funny. The waves splashed her, and my little honey bun, my youngest son, he was building his sands and just sitting back and taking it all in. Wow. I gotta say, I'm so proud of our life, our beautiful and amazing life. I'm always happy. I feel sometimes things can get us down, make us upset, but where do we box that? So let's say, for example, you go to a restaurant and you order something and then they make your order wrong and you get upset. It's really boxed in that space, in that moment. It's not really taken back into your life. And anytime me and my husband do anything, even if it's something that affects us professionally, we always come back to our homeostasis, our baseline, and we're so balanced. It's so amazing that we both wanted to go to the beach. We went to the beach. We had a great time, and it just felt amazing. I know that this week I'm going to take my kids to the pool. We're going to have so much fun. And, I was also thinking about playing basketball. These dreams can never just stop. And a lot of times I need us to take inventory of our lives. It's interesting. I am a person that I really personally love Tiffany's. And if you know me, you know I love Tiffany's. And I would always go into Tiffany's on Wall Street with my friends or by myself. And I would always walk in. I would be greeted by Don. Don is a charismatic, loving, and amazing human who really is the ambassador at that location at the time when I would go. And I would say, hi, darling. And he would say, hello. And we would walk all around Tiffany's looking at everything. And of course, I would buy something or a trinket here and there. And we built such a rapport over the years that they would invite me for champagne and chocolate covered whatever, strawberries. And then one time they said, why don't you bring a couple friends with you? And I said, really? And I invited a couple of my friends and we had champagne and chocolates and strawberries at Tiffany's. It was such an amazing feeling and experience. But it was so funny. But that's the thing. Like, I'm a person that I don't care if I don't really fit the piece. In my mind, I do. And the reason why I mentioned that is I want us to take inventory, because I have how many Tiffany boxes, how many Tiffany trinkets. Do I need another Tiffany's item? I love Pandora. I have so many Pandora charms and different things of that nature. Do I need another one? I love my shoes. You know how many shoes I have and bags I have? You know, I'm a person that, and I know you may have heard my podcast about Louis Vuitton. If I want a Louis Vuitton bag, I walk in cash. Let's buy it. I'm not going to play around, put it on a credit card, none of that nonsense. If I want it, cash is king. Let's go. However, when I say take inventory, what I mean is sometimes we want to fill a void. But truthfully, there's no void to fill. You are already in abundance. You are incredible and in abundance. And this kind of is like a reality. You know, when I had my baby, I was like, okay, I got to make space for baby. And I said, oh my goodness, you know what? All this stuff I'm not wearing anymore. Let's purge it. Let's bring it to Goodwill. And I did. You know, there's a thing about it where we really need to look inside of ourselves and say, hey, I have a great foundation. I'm an amazing human. Oh my gosh, I do incredible things all the time. And really own that. Not own such the material, but really own the physical. Now, I'll be real with you. I love to get my nails done. I love to get my eyebrows threaded. I love when my hair is feeling soft and glistening with a soft straight curl or whatever, however I do my hair. I love a red lip. You know, if I'm going to wear lipstick, it's going to be red. I love a pointy stiletto. Yes, these are truths. But I also love me. I'll give you a hard lesson, and then I'll bring it back to our journey. A hard lesson was when I was a young girl, I was super heavy. And in elementary school, I really wasn't accepted. I was the quote unquote fat girl. One summer, my grandparents were like, you're going on a diet. And they really helped me go on a diet. I lost so much weight, and it was the craziest thing that summer. I got super fit. I got super golden. I came back a beautiful mamacita. And all of a sudden, the people that knew me in school now wanted to be my friends. And I had to kind of deal with that because I still had my same corny jokes. I still did my same love of reading. I was still genuinely the same person. But how I was looked at and perceived was with respect. And this is where the truth shines in us all. At the end of the day, when you clean your face, when you take out your hair, when you go and put your pajamas on, you're still you. So how you treat people, how you love people, how you let time pass between people is who you really are, your divinity, right? I just want you to own that moment. When I think of my husband, he is in the raw all the time. He needs none. One time I said to my husband, oh, we're going here. Let me iron your shirt. He was like, if they don't like me with wrinkles, they don't like me. And he walked out the house in a wrinkled brown shirt. And I couldn't believe it. But you know what? He owns it. And guess what? Everybody loved his shirt. They said, is this crinkle? And I was like, no, it's not crinkle. It's just wrinkled. And he didn't care. And that's the thing. He's like, they love me for who I am, or they do not love me. And that's okay because I love me. And I'm like, oh my God, the lessons. There's lessons this man taught me about humbling. Wow. I tell you all these things, right? The full lesson is we have to learn to love ourselves. I always say, I love God, I love myself, I love everyone else. If I can't love myself, I can't love anyone. My husband, he's my king. I love him so much. I'll tell him right now, I'll kiss you right in your foot. I love that man. And I love myself. And I allow myself every day to make mistakes, to remember who I am. Hello. As one of my favorite students, #slay, period. Just a memory of who I used to be and who I still am. And I love being his wife. And this Father's Day is going to be so amazing because I'm just going to allow him to be. Sometimes people say, well, on Father's Day, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. How about on Father's Day, you ask your husband or your children's father, what do they want to do? And allow them to do it. Does it have to be a mark your calendar event? Unless they want it to be. I probably will say, hey, let's go to a motorcycle store, or let's go to a vintage car shop. Let's do things you enjoy. Want to go to Home Depot? Just kidding. But I like to stay in his lane on those days because it's about him and his children. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And I hope that I love the fact that a lot of you do reach out to me on Instagram and different social medias where I am, and on LinkedIn. It's so amazing. Your comments, your questions, some of the episodes that you want me to talk about, I will talk about. As I mentioned, we are definitely gearing into another spin-off called The Smarts, and our website right now is under construction, but it should be posted about this week, so you could click on all the episodes about The Smarts. Definitely can help you or your children out in your academic journeys. And thank you so much for being a part of this journey. Have an amazing day. Be well. Bye now. Bonus! Time to create your life checklist. Have you ever done this? Have you ever wrote a list of things you want to do? I mean, one time, some people call it their bucket list. One time I was thinking about things I wanted to do and I jotted down a list. Now, I don't call it a bucket list. I don't call it a checklist. I call it life goals. And so in my life goals, I wrote ride a horse, take a plane out of the country, get multiple stamps on my passport, swim with the fish, fishes in the ocean, or many different things. And it's so funny because I was cleaning up, looking for a photo album, and I came across my list. And I said, oh my goodness, this is so crazy. The list I put in this book called my Life Goals book. I have a book that I got one time, and I list all my life goals in this book. It started when I was in college, and I took my list and I folded it up and put it in the page like a bookmark. So I'm like looking in my book, and I said, wait, what's this bookmark? And I forgot what it was. Once I opened it, I said, oh my goodness, this is a list that I wrote when I was in high school. So funny because I checked almost every check mark on that list. I could not believe it. And I said, you know what? And I'm looking at my goals book like, wait, I haven't gone through this book in a while. And I love this goal book. There's a little pink book I have, and it's like life goals. And I love writing goals. As many of you know, I always tell you when we have a goal, it's really a goal and a B goal. And I do mean that very seriously. And I looked, and it was just that. And I checked it off, and those goals were already completed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've been talking about this for a while, and I'm going to mention it again. So this is one of my next big goals, and I want rally around this. There's going to be a poll at the end of this, so please make sure you click that poll. Here's the rally. I love basketball. I really do. So I am like on week 2 of toning up for basketball, training for basketball, and I've been doing these new floor exercises that I sent. I mean, they're definitely not new, obviously, but for me, they are new. They're brand new for me, and I'm loving it. And I noticed like a difference in certain areas. I'm like, getting excited. So right now I am about to look at my book, and I want to just tell you about this book. And in my blog, you'll see all about it, but let me just explain. This Girl Has Goals, a goal tracking journal designed by Dana Lee Collection. I got to tell you, I love this book. I love it. I'm looking through this particular book. I've had it for a minute, and there's so many things that I'm like turning the pages right now. Done. It's just cute because it's girly, but it gives you questions like, why is this important to me? What do I need to do to achieve my goal? When is my deadline? And checked once you completed your goal. Very simple, very organized. Why I love it though, I always say I have a goal A and a goal B. My goal A will be extrinsic. My goal B will be intrinsic, which means if I cannot achieve my goal A, I achieve my goal B, which is a reward for myself. The A is a prize or something that motivates me. So for my basketball journey, my goal A is if at the end of the year, I do my layup and I get a dunk or close to it, but really, I'm able to do the layup and get the dunk, I get a pair of foam runners in pink and black. That's the goal. Goal A. However, goal B, if I don't make the dunk, what's my second option? My second option is that I'm able to understand how to do a layup, how to be playing basketball better, how to be toned better. So the constellation here is my goal B is to be a better basketball player, which will happen. So either way, they're both attainable. The extrinsic value in my goal A is an actual tangible item, and those are foam runners. Okay, so I just want to foam runners. Okay. And then the second one, you could buy foam runners anytime, but I only buy things for myself that are pricey if it's a goal-oriented item. So for the goal B item, this is truly exciting. It's just my intrinsic self of being toned, being happy, being strong, and being a better basketball player. So I'm going to write up this goal. I'm super excited. My deadline for this goal is the end of December. So I really need to hustle this one up because I'm getting this back together. But I saw these floor exercises that are supposed to work on your jumps. I'm so into it. I am truly into it. So please look out for that blog about my basketball journey. And I just wanted to share this bonus with you. And I wanted to ask in the poll, do you have any goals or AB journey items that you want to list out? Oh, look at this one. Graduate from high school. That was from 1997, 98. And that was already like, hello, done. Hilarious. But enjoy what you do and make sure you do journalize. I'm a big avid reader and a journal writer. I like to keep track of things. I don't have to show off what I read, but I do like to read so many different books. And I feel that once you get into the craving of let me go to get a new book, like I'm a person that will literally love to go to the library. And definitely this week, I think on Wednesday, I'm taking my boys to the library. It's just something that we aspire as a family that we enjoy. But once you get into it, you will enjoy it too. I'm telling you, tap in. All right. Well, this was just a bonus, but take care and talk to you soon. Bye now.